it's time to review the Saints Row Reboot. Now, I've recently completed this game despite having it in my Steam library for well over a year. Yeah, figured that one out. I basically got the game, I say about a year and a half. Yeah, but I said about a year and a half ago with all DLC, apart from like one cosmetic pack. I think it turns out for like, I think I paid £5-6 for it, rather than if I had to pay for the base game on its own with some DLC. It came for like 8, 9, 10 quid. So I thought, you know what? Yep, sack it. I'll buy it, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna eventually play in this game, even though, yeah. So yeah, as a huge fan of the series, with Saints Row 2 being my absolute favourite, and I do enjoy playing 4, which people, I know obviously with the whole series, some people do not like 4 of how it became and spun. I mean, like I said, it's behind the scenes. It explained it understandable why the way it came to be. A lot of like rushed planning, I think, came to like the studio went shut down, etc. I think so. It kind of like got mixed managed and that jazz. But still, I had a lot of fun playing Central 4. I mean, I think I've got more hours of playing 4 on the PC at the moment compared to 3. So, like I said, I'm going now. I finally played the Saints Row Reboot to see how bad or woke people claim it to be. And I'm not saying it's woke. I said it's not. I said I always hate the word. If the word woke or like snowflake or whatever, they come into a sentence like to explain something or say, oh, I don't like it's woke. No, I've never agreed with it. It's just a shitty way around to go, I don't like it. I mean, I said I'm a music journalist, music field journalist. I've been doing it for 13 years, so I review bands, I review music albums, and obviously I've started to review games of the past couple of years. So, yeah, it's just the cheap shit clickbait crap to go. It's woke because, oh no, X, Y, or Z reasons, or I'm like, no, it said, I'm not lying, the game isn't perfect. There are a lot of issues, but there are bits I had fun with, and there's the parts of the game that I do enjoy. And I said I will dive into it about X, Y, Z reasons, and I said I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna say woke or snowflake and shit, because I said it's just a shitty, it's basically poor journalism. Basically, if articles start doing that, like shit like that, it's just lazy thing that just to get clickbait. I don't really like clickbaits myself. I try and avoid doing it because I'm like, I can if I want to, basically when I do my articles and that jazz. But no, I tend to avoid unless it's like, I can do it to prove a point, but I'm not going to. I don't like it anyway. So with that, I did have obviously you'll see straight off the bat regarding obviously the video quality. It's changed a lot. I mean, I had a lot of graphical issues with this game to run, audio issue where audio desyncs, obviously graphic where the shit doesn't load properly, or the audio desyncs from some scenes, and again it did ruin a lot of scenes for me, because I'm like, it's serious. Like, just were some amazing scenes, I'm like, this is aged, but then obviously there was a delay with the graphics loading, delay with obviously the audio and that stuff, and I thought it's down to my PC's obviously probably struggling to run the game. Turns out my PC's fine running it. It's just the game is terribly optimized, and obviously because the studio is now shut down, we're never going to get updates to fix the game, which, yeah, it's just that's a key thing. So like I said, when you're watching this video or any clips I upload, I sometimes upload shorts and that stuff, you can see the random quality, and like I said, I will point out, graphically it is a disaster. I mean, I know the Saints Row 2 on PC, that's a mess without obviously the patches, which I've not installed because I can't mod for shit because I break the PC. But still, that's another to put in consideration. Like I said, the amount of times I've had Saints Row 2 crash, even with glitches as well. I mean, it wasn't as bad as this reboot. I mean, I can still play this game. I've just had to I think I had to turn the little settings. I had to turn off completely or reduce, even though my computer runs fine. So Yeah, and I've also learned for so far in the game is obviously I use obviously GeForce to do all my videos and content, obviously unless I do edit. Now, see if I've had issues with my GeForce where it won't auto record, so I have to boot in the game and all that jazz to get it going. However, I've learned the fact that if I go into GeForce on the dashboard on while I'm playing the game, cars get stuck on the ground. Like if I try to drive off, the car will not move unless I click it again to go off. I didn't realize that until later on in the game. Like I had to restart the game so many times, and it's like, So yeah, it was stressful trying to figure that out. I mean, I figured it halfway through the game. I figured that out. I was like, oh, cool beans. So yeah, I can bitch all day about the graphical side of things, but like I said, the way to think of Saints Row Reboot is like a spin-off. Same with 4. Oh, I think you'd be pissed off. Like, obviously, oh, this isn't a Saints Row game. Because obviously people do it with 4. Oh, this isn't a Saints Row game. You got aliens. Same with this. It is a Saints Row game, but it's basically on a different angle completely, and the game does interline with how Saints Row feels and should look basically. I mean, like I said, it's the story isn't that bad. I'll get through it. And also, I'm trying to read off my script, and as you probably will, I'm terrible at even though I can say off the top, if I do off the top of my head, I'm terrible at reading stuff. So, like I said, the story-wise isn't as bad as people make out to be. Yes, there are parts where you think, oh, parts average, some parts are quite bland. However, there is quite a lot of scenes where I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I am in a Saints Row game. Like I said, it has its own quirks, like that I've not seen in some other Saints Row games. So, oh god, bloody hell. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do now initially is to talk about the story. I'll try and, because there's a lot of details that will make sense if I try to explain now. It'll go, what are you on about? So if I carry through the story, because you lock progressions and you lock story stuff on that jazz, I will. Yeah, hopefully it makes a lot more sense to do so. Obviously, I've got right at the end of the. Obviously, after to tell that story, I'll talk about like pros and cons, and obviously it will link to the story, and you go, okay, this makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I'm ADD. Well, like everything's in different bloody orders. I mean, so the start of the game is basically you're at this big party, and you get a glimpse of like who the characters are. And basically there's gonna be a meeting. Some guy comes to the Saints party. You see who some of the characters look like, and then you think, oh, what's this guy doing for a deal? And then basically, before obviously go on, let's make a deal. You customize your character. Now with Saints Row, I think obviously Saints Row 1 kind of basic, but Saints Row 2 was like the paving stone to character customization, and obviously then it ramped up with 3. I mean, I remember before Saints Row 3 came out, there was that character customization download app, whatever it was, that you can customize characters. I never bothered with it because I keep my characters without, going overboard. You can do, I mean, you can poke around, but then Saints Row 4, obviously, I think similar to 3, similar basic. Obviously, I know it's basically cut and paste. And then the reboot again is a lot to customize. Again, heavily customizable was the same. And I'm guessing probably what pissed a lot of fans off is that you can have boobs and you can have a dick as well. Not like one or the other. You can have both, and obviously it's probably, as people say, it's woke. But I say you never played Sims. Like especially 4, I think Sims 4 came out 10, 12 years ago or something ridiculous, where obviously you can be like any gender and stuff like that, which is fair enough. Go nuts to Sims game, you can go nuts. We've not all like play games dressed as women and stuff like that. I mean, I know people who basically hate gays and that shit, but they'll be female characters in games. It's basically the same principle. I'm like, you're mourning basically, but it's games woke, but you choose, and especially like Fallout and other games, you choose to be a female character, so you can't be in a hypocritical little twat when you go, I said I know a few people who do that, so yeah, sucker fire on my ass for that. I mean, another major issue for me, obviously, there's no male Cockney voice. Now, obviously, I've always had the male Cockney accent for Saints Row 2 for playing it, about 15 years playing it, and I know there's a female voice, but it's not the same for me. you know. So I think it was kind of adjusting to play the game with a basically like an all like American. I think my voice is American. I think, but yeah, I'm not a Cockney, so I think that's off-putting. Like, it's initially off-putting me trying to adjust to like hearing sort of a normal voice where I go, no, I love the Cockney voice. It's hilarious. Oh. So yeah, use that. So like I said, you get so after you customize your character, obviously the story, this party delves on, and then you get flashbacks through some scenes that like I said make sense now when you finish the game, because there's cutscenes that you witness that are happening during the game. Obviously, I think you get rich and you have money fights and all that basically, and then obviously you basically get thrown to an open grave and start getting buried alive, and that goes, oh shit. What it instantly, you know, bear in mind, obviously, since you're 2, like I said, you got into a ship, you got into a boat, you blew up in an accident, and you try to figure who it was, and then now Central 3, obviously you got booted out of obviously Stillwater, and then obviously with Central 4 it was abducted by aliens, so it's not too major, but again, yeah. So regarding the flashback and like all of that, so after that cutscene ends, then you watch a video about martial art. I can't, you know what, I'm terrible at like trying to remember names. So basically martial, which reminds me of Alter a bit. This private company merching me for hire. Obviously you're in a base of plutonium troops, and you gotta hunt down, I think you're gonna hunt down and find someone basically. Okay, a guy called the Nawali. He's a badass. He's an evil guy, but I actually fell in love with him because he's just like, yeah, cool. I want to be like that guy. And obviously, carrying through the scene where you go hunting down. You know, you get used to how the game like movements feels, the gunplay feels, and I said I did enjoy the gunplay. It had the feel. It was nice. Obviously, you can do like you can roll about basically, which makes life a bit easier. So moving forward, you find the Nawali in a bar. He runs away. He jumps on this first floor onto a VTOL, and then he's just trying to fly away and capture that. And obviously, you hook on a APC to the bastard thing, and then you basically try and get him out of the plane. Obviously, there's some gunfights when you're on top of the plane, but then obviously you crash and arrest them. So yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty badass, but obviously you are just a grunt trying to follow orders, and basically the boss who you were working with, you disobeyed orders, so you know, you got the guy captured, but you disobeyed orders, so you lost the bonus. That's how it kind of kicks off. You lose your bonus, so you get paid, but you get pissed off the fact you get a warning and you lost your bonus. Yeah, so basically you drive home. Obviously you're everyone blinding and blah blah blah. You drive home, and I'm guessing, like I said, this I think over about what fans don't like is how you're with your roommates and everything seems normal. You know, normal conversations about obviously how the day's been. Obviously, yes, there's the whole about this fucking waffle line thing, which pissed off a lot of people, because I'm like, oh, wait, what is this game? You're talking about normal shit, normality, and yeah. But again, initially myself, I was like, oh, okay, what is, you know, questioning myself, alright, that fine, whatever, you know. But I think because it's, like I said, trying to disassociate with this as the actual franchise, I think, oh, this is like basically normal people just to go on at the end of their lives, and then it later on again it explains how they became the Saints, and like I said, it's good. I like how it is a bit corny, but it's kind of good. So, but like I said, you have roommates that are part of rival gangs, but you're roommates. You know, you all get along. You'll get your friend. That's fair enough. I mean, I know with 1, obviously you join the Saints. If I remember, you join the Saints, but obviously you do the Fight Club and whatnot. And then 2, you obviously meet the guy Carlos in the prison. He lets you out, and then you meet Gat and you meet basically new characters. Well, I mean characters, but then free. Like I said, you get free. You got all your characters too, basically. So it's kind of like, I know it's not actually like a badass moment. It's like, but it's like mom, but still, you know, the people who are in free, basically the characters you like in 2, and I'll see some in 1 are in 3. So I'm like, you know, it's all good arguing about, oh, these people knew each other, but again, if you play things for free or things for 4 without playing 1 and 2, it's kind of the same thing. They know each other. So yeah, so I guess what people, people obviously they're getting short on rent, and obviously they need to buy stuff for the house, like a waffle line, just in, because obviously one of the characters, he likes to bake food and make food, so obviously that's what they come. Oh, you're not happy with how your food, buy a waffle line, blah blah blah. So you're like, oh, we need money because I didn't get a bonus, so we need money. So you rob a payday loan place, which is fair enough. Like I said, you know, there's some crime going on already. You know, you got your job. But like I said, it's a different way. It's a more normal way to start the game rather than the other 4 games. Yeah, I'm terrible at. Seriously, I have like 1,000 words plus to read, and I am terrible at reading this out loud. So I do apologize. I've spent like probably a week and I'll try and write this review, and I am ballsing it up. But yeah, so you go to the payday loan, and then also you need a getaway car. You need to go get it. You know, you guys split up. You are distracted from the police, and you go get the getaway car. But obviously, the one way to actually kind of go, which made me laugh, is when you're driving away, trying to get yeah, when you kind of get this car, you're trying to get that to get away. Obviously, you're getting chased by police, and obviously, whoop up at the sound of the police. I should have wrote the song name down, but I am shit. So that's in the background, trying to drive the car, and that's actually, you know, that's pretty good. That's good. So yeah, so you have that, and obviously then you get your rival cars, your car like getaway gets chopped up, so you fight them off, and then you drive to try and escape the police and whatnot, and then obviously there's a cinematic cool scene where you get rescued by Nina, which is one of your roommates. She comes in, does a really badass scene on a billboard, save you up, honky dory. Now again, this might not be 100% ordered the storyline, because I've filed a new system in place to do my video clips, but I've basically been chopping away video for the game. Like, say I've got I think 400 clips. No, sorry, listen, I've got about 130 clips by like 80-90 videos, and there's 130-40 clips, so I've had to like chop down, but I put them in the wrong order, so it might not sound right if you already know the game. Something might not sound right. If it is sweet, if it doesn't sound right, then I do apologize and go, "Ugh, you're wrong." I'm like, God damn it. So if I'm a regard is, you do more jobs for Marshall because you're still work for Marshall, this company, and you go take on an armored convoy, which again is pretty good. You drive, you become a gunner to your mate driving, take out cars, and you jump and raid on this truck because there's no backup. So you go in there, you keep jumping on jeep, jump on cars, you know, on that stuff while this big fucking trucks are driving, and then long story short, you go through a dust storm and you drive off a cliff. You drive down the canyon, and basically it's Los Penteros. That's the gang that you're taking out on these things. And it turns out the Marshal Atticus, after this scene, one of the guys in Los Penteros gets crushed by a truck that's hanging off on this cliff, and you go, "Oh, I'm safe." Which Atticus and I don't know who the guy is. I'm shit. The guy you meet at the start of the game goes, "Oh, we got a business deal." He's like, "Oh, I have a museum. You got artifacts back. Hooray! Good. Now you're gonna be you get a new job at the museum." Yeah. So again, it's normal, but again, it's already kind of wacky as is, which has got the Saints Row feel to it. So Yeah, so in the museum, obviously everything's all fine. This museum opens up, business night, whatever. You're walking around, just being security, just keeping an eye on stuff. Lost terrorists come in, shoot the place up, and you basically have to try and control the situation. But then you meet the idols a bit later on. Yeah, so this book, this goddamn book, which is like a rare artifact, you end up basically escorting this book thing through an entombed case, shoot your way through to the safe house basically, and then yeah, it goes tits up. Idols are there, get cause a scene, and then you try and get it back because obviously you lose you basically lose where location is for this thing. You go down a roof or whatever, and then you have to fight your way through. You get a minigun, which is pretty badass, and eventually take everyone out. And you save the woman, but then Atticus is like, "We've not got the book. This book has been duped by the idols." So you get basically get fired, and blah blah blah. And I mean, this next scene again, I think pissed people off because you spend the next like 5 minutes being sad in your apartment. So is Nina because she gets fucked by Los Panteros, the gang she works for. So you're both very sad. You try and make food. You're both very sad. And then I think Kev and Eli go, "Hey, there's a Kev's doing a part, doing DJ for the idols. Come with." And you're like, "No." You order but fuckload of knives to be sad, and you realise, oh shit, the Los Monteros is gonna go to this. I think Los Monteros is it. They go where Kevin and Eli are, and then they go kill him basically. So you go, oh shit. 5 minutes later, you go down there, you save the day, and then obviously you meet the idols again. Now, obviously, we nearly die because the idols are like, "Hey, who are us? We're basically dickheads." And then Kev's like, "Oh, these are my friends. They're cool." And Idol's boss goes, basically, "You kill us." Obviously, he doesn't, but obviously Eli gets. Is it Kevin? No, Kevin. It's Kevin, not Eli. That was it. Eli's the guy in the glasses, the nerdy guy. He gets shot, and obviously Kevin's basically like, Kevin's the fucking, yeah, I've already screwed up. Yeah, Kevin's the guy. Eli's who he's empowering the gang. So Kevin's basically like, oh, you know. So you basically drive home. You rush home because you can't go to hospital because you have no insurance. Obviously, you don't go to hospital with a bullet wound, and then you realise, yeah, you want to start a gang. Now before obviously you drive back. One really cool scene is you're on the roof of a rocket launcher defending off basically Los Panteros and idols, which is pretty cool. So yeah, moving on. Basically, you all in your apartment and go, you know what? Should form our own gang. I mean, obviously, Kevin's gonna get killed from idols. Nina's gonna get killed from Los Panteros. And obviously, you're like, I got fired, and then Eli's like, oh, well, I got shot, but all right, fuck it. So you need to form a gang, which also whips out the whiteboard to be more organised. You know, who doesn't like organised crime? Again, this probably pissed people off. Oh, why is the guy with the chalkboard going? Oh, but again, they're trying to make their own gang. It makes sense, you know. So you basically start from the ground up, right? Oh, how do we form a gang? Blah blah blah. You know a guy who has a garage that needs to be built. You help him out, get him stolen parts back, defend them off, and then you go on a rampage, kill some Los Monteros, destroy their shit. And then this guy's garage gets built, and then you've got some money coming in because you helped them out. Then you basically, for a side mission, you basically find rare cars, which some appear, some don't appear, but yeah, that's a pain in the ass. So regardless of your business, now you need some kind of building to operate for a base, and turns out there's a rundown church. The Saints Road Church. So the church basically due to get demolished, and then you want to go and meet the guy who basically got the gas or whatever. But turns out it's all to get destroyed. So you get a dozer, destroy loads of shit, and which obviously pisses off the marshal. So you got to take out the security, and then you got after this guy, the guy called John, whatever the fuck his name is. He has the deeds. You go find him, and then yeah, basically you drive like a knobhead to get the shit out of him, and then you get a briefcase which has the deeds to the church and other shit, which I'll explain in a minute. So I'll return to the church. You obviously you find a logo on the floor which is covered in shit. There's the logo, which is the saints, and then you look at an old memorial on the wall, and you go, "We're called the saints." It's stupid, it's corny, however it works. Boom, that's how you know what the saints are. So it's simple yet cool. And I think obviously Saints Row has always been about church, and Saints Row 1, it's a church. The same mural, I think, same paintings, same logo. So there's now more of a link to the thing. Bear in mind, it's not affiliated to any of the Saints Row series. This is a spin-off. As I've said, it makes more sense. So this is how the Saints were born in this timeline. Now, not only with the church, but you get in this briefcase a load of empty plots. I think there's like 14 plots, which means 14 businesses. Again, businesses you have to buy to get money. I mean, it's not unlike the other Saints Row games where you can buy and unlock businesses. You can also buy random buildings to get your revenue. This isn't. This is like there's 14 lots of businesses, but then you can do like side missions like take out rival gangs and all that bollocks to get more revenue. And so this is the case. If you save money, it gets not too bad at the moment. It's like $40,000. I mean, getting money early in the game is a nightmare to earn, but you buy businesses, you do side missions and blah blah blah, you get more revenue. And again, the side missions is cool. Again, another Saints Row game. You got repo, you got the insurance fraud. I think you got helicopter cargo missions. Again, I've not really played a lot of it, and obviously then you've got your repo missions as well, where you got to drive like nuclear waste trucks to businesses, blah blah blah. But again, you've got the Saints Row thing there for lucrative business, 14 business, but they get really expensive later on. I mean, another one that I like, which I didn't realize it was, where basically it's like Google, where you give like some businesses star ratings. Obviously, 5 stars, great, and then you give 1 star, which is like shit. So I think my favorite one is where you rate a hotel, and then your 1 star is some shit on my pillow, which I laughed. It's stupid, it's shit, but I laughed. So the rival gang that owns the property come and shoot you, defend them off, and then you could there's a lot like missions like that. But again, it's quite hilarious for stuff like to do. So moving on, like obviously with the story, you have a lot of side quests of Eli, Kevin, and Nina. Now I think people pissed off with Eli side quests because it's about LARP, which is live action roleplay. I mean, for a Saints Row game to go, I can see why people are pissed off, but I enjoyed it. It's different. It was corny, but the missions is great. I mean, obviously, everyone, he says, obviously for the game, it used the LARP, like weaponry, no one dies, and the whole city gets involved in, which is kind of hilarious. And then when you get headshots, it makes a funny noise. But yeah, basically, you build a fort, you take out rival LARP bases, and you build a fort, and then you have basically a full scale war. I mean, it's done a full scale war. There's no called missions and I think the funniest bit for that is the stealth mission, where you're not stealthy, but you basically you drink this potion, which obviously you don't really, and then you put your hands on your shoulders or whatever, and then you stealth, and you can just stealth like take out targets, and it's stupid, but it's hilarious. And and as for the vehicles, obviously you got your own army, but obviously you go get the sandworm vehicle, which is it's a vehicle where it's a sandworm. And obviously you get the other players involved into it, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck's this?" And they go, "Oh, this is pretty cool," which it was. It's corny as fuck. But then right at the end, which I know I've seen some reviews mention about it, and they fucking hate it, is how corny you take out the final boss, which in the fuel station, and it's just you pretend to shoot the guy, and obviously the guy has a very dramatic death. Again, it's stupid. This is what I like about Saints Row. Saints Row is stupid. There's a lot of stupid shit in Saints Row, which I'm like, it's over the top. This is a different angle. It's funny. I generally enjoyed it. It was hilarious. So that's basically a nutshell for Fingo. For Nina's, hers basically, obviously she's a mechanic. Turns out, obviously pissed on Teros, her sweet car gets robbed and gets destroyed. You go to Los Materos Depot. You steal a tourist army helicopter thing. Yeah, don't ask. That sounds corny as fuck. Blow this fucking place up, raid into it, destroy the trucks, destroy all the possessions, and then you escape in a badass little escape scene. Which, again, that's pretty cool. But then obviously the final missions where she wants to be an art collector. You try and be legit and buy artwork that people don't give a rat's ass, so you basically just scout it. It's fine. But a funny one is where you steal a cow, like a sculpture cow, and the cow looks so dorky and adorable. And trying to drive that back with the police call, you robbed the cow. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's funny. Now for Kevin's mission, yeah. So Eli's still out. Have I balls up again? Probably. So we're half an hour in and we're about halfway there. Jesus Christ. Are we halfway? Yeah, we are. So this is a big Saints Row thing. So with Kevin's mission, again, it started off sweet where he just wanted some rare toy from Freckle Bitches. Kevin's backstory is he's an orphanage. He's never had anything, blah blah blah. He just wants a toy for it to get his youth back, basically, because he's never had one. Obviously, you steal a carload because the idols rob it. So you're like, fuck it, fair enough. And then Kevin's story digresses like quite dark. I think this is part of the side. This isn't like main story. This is like the side missions of Kevin. I'm like, oh my god. So basically, next mission, Kevin gets kidnapped, and you're like, oh, where is Kevin? Actually, no. This is actually part of the story because it is actually part of the story. I think. I don't know. It is part of the story, but main story, I think they all have to intertwine. Yeah, they all intertwine. I'm guessing they all link into whatnot. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Like I said, my thing's not in 100% order, so again, I do apologise. So with Kevin, you gotta have a movie night, but then Kevin doesn't. He gets abducted after the gym, and then you wait. A day's over, and they go, "Where's Kevin?" You go ring him. And then the idols go, yeah, whatever. Eli then tracks down his phone, and you go to the saloon, and again, it's a pretty badass moment. You walk in and go, where the fuck is Kevin? And obviously then you have a big shootout and whatnot, and then you find another phone or some shit, and then you basically go to the idols camp, which again, this gets more amazing. Is you go to the idols camp, and then there's one of the guys in the Portaloo. You chain it up and you drive it round in a car. Like you drag it with a car, go and wreck the idols camp while this guy's getting covered in shit. Which again, I think it's a fitting tribute to the shit side missions. The shit truck type of tank missions you haven't seen from 2. Again, it gave me flashbacks of that because he's just bullying the fuck out of this guy. And it's great. And then eventually tells you where Kevin is. He's at this big sign they're going to demolish. So you have to run over there, disable the bombs, and save Kevin. And then you glide to the to this mansion where the idols are, and they shoot up. Again, this reminds us, here's for free. But the final mission is you have your friends that are tied up on these big fucking monuments. And you have to rush over to save the bombs and save the people again. Either it's coincidental, I don't know. Either or, it's a nice thing for it. Actually, where is? I'm sure I'm missing something. Like I said, I'm in no goddamn. Yeah, so we've done that, and obviously the final bit. Oh, it's so okay. So now this next bit, obviously, yeah, shipment of knives that you've solved, like you bought, and obviously you gave Kevin a nice fancy knife, which is kind of sweet. So actually, you have the side mission, so I can now carry on the thing. Again, next mission is like, I thought it was a DLC mission, but it's not. It's part of the story, but it evolves into a DLC content. So you want to hire crew members, and you have not to do it, and then this basically you watch this live stream of this like giant fight club where you go and shoot everyone. Again, it reminds me of is it Zen? I should have wrote it down. But basically, the fucking cat thing and things are all free. Like we gotta do stuff like that. So yeah, so basically, this fight club is you have to go take everyone out and defend and take everything out. Basically, you complete that, you start getting recruits in, and then you have obviously you have a DLC mission to do it again, which I don't bother because judging by reviews, it's a bit shit. So moving on from then, you basically get told, oh well, how do we start getting money? Because bear in mind, so you're starting to get a crew, obviously crew members, people that, oh my god, I want to join the Saints to kill, but obviously you need money to go. How do you make money? Blah blah blah. Talk about robbing banks and stuff, and then Nina's like, oh, let's rob a Marshall train that's full of money. They explain into it, but basically, the Los Monteros were like, they want to rob it as well, which she explains, and then you go, oh, well, we need to like get badass to rob this train, big fucking train heist. So we saw meet more people. Turns out the next mission you up, you go and rescue the Nawali. So you break into the prison, you be undercover in your uniform because you are fired. You want to get shot on sight. However, you try and be stealthy in this prison, which was a bit stressful trying to do. And then it goes to shit because the last guard's like basically imposter, and then you go shit bollocks, and then you actually shoot him out, get the Nawali out, and then you go escape. You can't get the prison. You can't go over a helicopter because everywhere's up in flames and everyone's shooting down. So you and the Nawali go, hey, let's rob this car. He's gunning, you're driving around the whole prison, blowing shit up, proper Hollywood Saints style, blowing everything up, and then you escape. Again, that's what I mean. I said missions like that, it's fucking great. That's proper, like, because I know some reason people have mentioned they've skipped like a lot of shit, which is why I'm talking about the story, and then it goes, oh okay, because like I said, there's I think half the missions in this thing so far is Saints. It's just not a Cockney accent. Yeah. So again, like I said, the train robbing mission coming up in a bit is great. So, but there's still a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, from something like that, there's a bit going on. So, with the next mission, you're discussing the next plan to do for like a business night, whatever, to try and find your game plan. However, so you go get donuts basically. Yeah, it's boring. You're away around. It sounds pretty naff, but then it turns into a bloodbath because people are trying to kill you. And it turns out you're been put on this wanted app. Basically, you have a high bounty on you, so you're against every NPC in this goddamn town, in the whole city. Basically, Kevin comes and right, I'm triple checking this shit right now because I swear to God I've been saying the wrong fucking names. Fuck me. No, where the fuck? Leonardo and Kevin. Yeah, so it's Kevin. I'm not even fucking this up. Jesus Christ. Right, so yeah. So Kevin goes, shit, you're on this wanted app. We need to get you to safety. And basically, this wanted app is there are loads of missions in this for a side quest on this wanted app on your phone, and you basically go take out target in special ways. I mean, my favorite one is this old lady's got a credit card details stolen. She chats all shit like old women do. You pick her up and she wants to kill this guy herself. I'm like, okay. She said, do you want to wear those original sweet, like proper old biddy? I'm like, that's hilarious. I hate it. Fuck off. Again, I laughed. And basically you go kill her. She kills him. It's great. But yeah, there's loads of like little bits where you gotta do stuff like there's a meth lab or some shit. Which again, I think one of the first things I did, take out a meth lab, like hooking it and driving it away and then do a gunfight. Anyway, so yeah, you go to this place in the desert where these two guys who Kevin I said, get off the app. They're like, no. Then Kevin puts them on the app, and then you got to defend. Kevin, them two guys who only wanted that, and yourself against the onslaught of people. I mean, it's chaotic. Like, this scene is like, oh my fucking god. It's like someone put the all, in San Andreas, where you have the cheats where it's riot mode and everyone goes to try and kill you. That's that, but on steads. I mean, Jesus Christ, but yeah, basically you're taking off it and whatnot. So yeah, again, it's good. That's great. I'm gonna say it's great a lot for this, blah blah blah. So again, next mission before that, it's a team building exercise. You know why you need to know who the Wily is. Obviously, get more close person. I'll do these training exercises. First one is Nina. The Wili's like, what the fuck's going on here? You get an RV van that Eli's hired. You go paint this graffiti memorial with saints over it because it's like it was Los Monteros. And then I think Eli suggests, let's go to a karaoke bar. I'm like, hell yeah. And then turns out you want to buy Marshall this cool fucking ass hover bikes. Long story short, you want these hover bikes for the train robbing missions, but you gotta like defend, hold off the people. And then I was like, hey, I have a secret area, put them there, boom, done. So yeah, a nutshell for that. So basically now, train heist, and yes, it's fucking amazing. So you're on hover bikes, you get dropped off at the train, take a lot of shit out. There's crazy ass turrets on the roof. You also have Los Monteros. It is Los Monteros, isn't it? I've been saying the wrong fucking thing, haven't I? Yeah, Los Monteros is Los Monteros are taking the train out as well. You got to take out Marshall, or take them out, and then the train gets disconnected, and then you got to basically get picked up by the hover bikes, go back to the train, blah blah. Yeah, and then like I said, you're shooting your way through, taking everything out, and then you meet the main boss of the Los Monteros, and I've just lost the fucking name because I'm a dickhead. Again, I'm shit. When I said I've blasted this game, I'm shit trying to remember names. I know characters 0 to 1, 2, and 3. Well, 2 and 3 but trying to remember these is stuff like, my god. So yeah, so here goes the main boss in the big gaff in Los Monteros. He's on the thing, and then Noali basically kills him. And you're like, he's still the kill. I mean, it's kind of shit, but I'm like, Noali's fucking cool. And then you're like, fuck this shit. And there's you open the doors, the next train carriage. There's a helicopter. You like shoot it down, and boom, there's a fucking tank. So you're then driving a tank, blowing everything up, and then you shoot a helicopter, which crashes into the front of the train, and there's a boom, big crash scene. But hey ho. Yeah, I just realised. So that's that. So now you're going to be becoming even more badass. Obviously, now you got money to pay for the Saints. Obviously, you got your crew. Obviously, your crib's getting upgraded every time you do some stuff, and you get more money as well from doing that. So then you're like, we need to become more badass to represent, like, don't fuck with us. And obviously, the Codex. That's what I'm trying to find the word. The Codex is this big fucking thing that Marshall has that gets stolen by the idols. So you want to get the Codex back. Idols have it. You go to the safe vault thing in the boathouse, and then it's near trapped and get killed because obviously you're locked in. Obviously, disarm the bomb, and then you go, oh wait, they're on a big fucking yacht thing. That's where the Codex is, and you go, fuck, let's go. Basically, you go to the ship, take everyone out, steal the Codex, blow it up. Again, that reminds us of Saints Row 1-2 with a fucking yacht where you're going, but you don't die doing this. You fend off fucking shooting while you're going back to base. Again, fucking, that's absolutely incredible. That is like, oh my god. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of mentions in the old Saints Rows that links in, unless they don't think about it, but they've got to. I mean, come on, you blow a big fucking yacht up with a bomb. Come on, that's the end of Saints Row 1. That's again, that's good storytelling. That's me. I said I played the fuck out of this game, and I will give its due what's good and what's bad. So yeah, actually we're nearly right fucking new this. Yeah, okay, we're getting through. All right, so moving on. Yeah, one of the martial lawyers come to the church and say, basically, we're taking over what the Saints assets and all that stuff, because obviously we've signed, you, the player, have signed a contract clause saying you can't interfere with Marshall. Like, if you fuck around with them, or you become a threat, or what's the word for it? I can't remember. But yeah, so basically the clause is you can't basically profit or like be better than Marshall, otherwise they own everything. So you shoot the guy lawyer, which doesn't solve anything. Eli's like, doesn't solve it. Ring him, call him. So you're driving to the HQ where Atticus is, and you're like, hey, I'll try and ring and be peaceful, like Eli says, and then you leave a fucking angry voicemail, but you can't because inbox is full. Again, that's hilarious, and So with that, you go in, shoot the place up, and then you meet Myra, who is the woman you saved. Obviously, Atticus isn't there, but she's like, hey, work together. I want Atticus out of the picture. I want to take over the gaff. And you go, okay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So then she's like, oh, we need to make the money worth, you need to make Marshall stocks worth jack shit. So you rob an AI tank, which Marshall said, oh, this is a brand new tank powered by AI. Fucking AI. You take over that and you blow shit up. You make loads of stock to plummet, and then you go, there's a board meeting, and which is a tiebreaker basically. Atticus gets to go or stay. You're the tiebreaker, and then you go either fire him or shoot him. And also, I killed him. Like, I don't know what the other option is. If he lives and he comes to kill you or some shit, I don't know. But it'd be pretty cool if he did, but I don't think he does. I'm not gonna look into it either, to be fair. But yeah, I killed him because he's a cunt. So yeah. So with that and due, like I said, it's now back to where we're going to the party. Next mission, the party's there, boom, and then it comes to the scene where kill you, and lo and behold, it turns out it's the Nawali. I mean, the funny thing of that reminds of the scene prior to it. I'm going to explain terribly, it sounds funny in text. There's an episode in South Park, I think season 1, season 2 it might be, where they're trapped in the school, and then there's like, who killed? Blah, blah, blah. Is it the Denver Broncos? Is it Mr. Hankey? Oh, fucking whatever. They throw the names like some shitty like 70s quiz thing, and that's what fucking pissed my side. And it's like, oh my god, it's who killed the leader of the Saints? Is it Noali? Is it Marshall? Some people might get that, most people probably won't. So if you get it, please like say yeah. Otherwise, a lot of people go, oh, what the fuck? And the episode's like nearly 30. Fucking hell, the episode's like nearly 30 years old. Jesus. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, basically, the bastard Diwali it kills you because he's like, I want everything. I said I want what you've got, which you did mention earlier in the game when you're asking him, I want what you've got. In a nutshell, I want the friends, the empire, the family, the money, everything. So you're fucking half dead in this grave, and then you're basically tripping balls, dying, and then you walk through. This reminds me of Fallout 3, the Point Lookout DLC, where you're tripping balls and you end up walking. I think you're drugged or whatever to get this antibiotics, and you walk through this like map, and obviously shit starts spawning, and it's like, what the fuck, you're tripping balls. It's similar to that, where you have like your mates pop up, and then some bits will pop up, and you go, oh wow, yeah, scenes, memories come flooding back. I'm like, oh okay, and then it turns out right at the end you go, oh, it's board night, and then you say, oh, there's board games on the floor here, which they were playing earlier, and for game night. And again, people go, oh, it's got nothing to do with Saints Row. Yeah, but fuck off. It makes sense basically because they're playing that board game while the Tyrant's Ghost let's rob a train. The board game makes no sense, but yeah, it was cute. Yeah. So you when you play the board game, you actually physically kind of do some little side questions for your mates who you are board characters, like wood things, and you go, oh yeah, you need bears, but get some sheep, get some whatever it is. Man, then lo and behold, snakes start appearing, and you're like, oh, you check the barn out. I'm like, okay. Which you open the door, you pass out, and then turns like it goes into hell in your eyes, like, oh, you can't escape, blah blah, or you're gonna die. And then psychologically, as you're trying to escape, climbing up and get out of this place, obviously the psychological means, oh, your friends are going, you're shit, you let me die, blah blah blah. Psychologically trying to fuck you up. And then basically you manage to get out, you wake up, you're injured, but you wake up, And then it's like, where the fuck is everyone in the church? Everyone's dead in the church, apart from your friends. And the cutscene goes like, it's some like weird fetish thing where the wise captured your mates and they go, let's do a happy scene. And Kevin's wearing a t-shirt and wearing a shirt. That's how you know you fucked it is. So yeah, some happy family crap. Like, what? Seriously, he goes, what the fuck's this? And so basically, long story short, you go to the safe house where the Wily is, you rearm, you go back to where you came, the saloon, you take out a fuckload of people until you get until it tells you where it is in a nice positive way. He was a good egg. Then you fly with the crash VTOL to the abandoned casino where it's at, and then a badass song by the Black Angels, Young Man Dead, is fucking, it's incredible. I mean, what makes it great is the Black Angels have another song, it's back up to the line. I'm like, oh my, because I recognize this band. I'm like, oh my god, it's back up as well. I'm like, you're 5 minutes, you're flying to it. I'm like, this is fucking badass. You're gonna have to crash the V12, trying to kill everyone. So basically, you fly to the casino, you take all the fences, take out enemy helicopters, take fucking whatnot. You storm the casino. You find your friend, you try and kick fuck out of the Wily. He escapes, but your friends are free, and then you end up like a massive gunfight chasing him up the casino. So you get close to the roof, and then obviously he's like, I'm in a helicopter, fuck you bitch. I have a rocket launcher at the time, so unless there's no rocket launcher or whatever, I had a rocket launcher, so trying to shoot him down was great. I managed to take him down, and then do enough damage, he changes room, and then basically you take him out, he crashes on the roof, and then you walk on the roof like some badass fucking moment. Yeah, so you walk up to the roof, you stomach on contact, you do like this whole dramatic cowboy wow 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 Clint Eastwood stuff, wow wow wow. You try and draw, and then you'll be quick. I was like, fucking draw, boom, kill him, and then the scene goes. He goes, oh, basically he tries to speak, and he's basically shoot the fuck out of him. I'm like, and then you have a badass scene, like, yeah. And then you and your friends on the roof drinking whatever the fuck you're drinking, like a coffee cup, sat down watching the sunset and having a wholesome moment. Like deep, like, oh, it's my fault, everything is gone fucked up, and like, yeah, this is pretty cool. So the ending's a bit corny, but like I said, this whole boss scene took like 20 minutes, half an hour to do. It wasn't a 5-minute task, it was like 20-minute thing to do. So so that's basically a better nutshell of the story. Jesus Christ, at 50 minutes in, fuck me. But that's me, a lot of shit to talk about. Like I said, if me explaining better, like how the story and plot is like, oh, okay. So like I said, the story isn't that bad as people make out to be. I mean, yes, there's some shit scenes, but there's very awesome scenes and many moments, as I've said, like that feel like a Saints Row game. It's not going to be perfect. It's a reboot of like a 15. Obviously, people want Saints Row 2. I want Saints Row 2, but we will never get a game like Saints Row 2 ever again. We will never. I mean, the thing that we came close to was this. But obviously, then you had Saints Row 3, which changed, and then Saints Row 4. But we will never, ever, ever get a Saints Row 2 style kind of game ever again. I don't think we ever will. It's not in that era. And like I said, I'm gonna be sad we'll never have a game like it. But at the same time, I'm glad we have a game like it, because we go, yeah. I mean, like I said, the ending isn't as bad as Far Cry 6. That game pissed me fucking off, that ending of that game. I was like, what the fuck's this ending? I mean, I had graphical issues with that, but I think I ran the thing on minimum because it turns out Far Cry 6 is a power hungry thing. But still, the end of games that I'm trying to think of shit endings, Far Cry 6 stuck out the most because it was wank. That was a terrible fucking ending. I mean, the story was okay, that was average, but it was fucking wank, the ending. So with that all said, does it belong to the Saints Row franchise? Absolutely. Has it ruined the legacy? No, it hasn't. Story wise, I mean, the story hasn't ruined the legacy. I know the studio shut down because of terrible sales, but people make out the story shit. I said, no, the story's not too bad. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's didn't help. Like I said, the graphical technicalities, audio and crap like that has fucked. If they weren't as bad, then okay, and the glitches, but again, obviously Paul Cell shut it down. So yeah, like I said, it's on to my little fucking mini list of like pros and cons about obviously about what I don't like about the game. But like you said, it's a massive shame that this franchise is, it's dead. Hopefully, it might come back in the near future, but I honestly don't expect it. It might, unless there's an IP revival or some shit, but it's a bit dead, Dave. But I would happily see a Saints Row reboot. Same with Dead Rising. I want to see a Dead Rising reboot. That'd be great. So obviously moving on to the cons first. Like I said, so there's bugs. Again, like I've mentioned before, there's so many fucking bugs involved, performance issues and crap, which have ruined a lot of stuff. I mean, that again, if the game didn't have so many bugs and glitches graphically wise and stuff like that, I don't think it'd be as bad. But because they never really fixed it, it's a bit shit. Another major thing is you can't kill team members. I mean, if you try to hire, obviously, gang members, crap like that, whatever, or you see walking about, you cannot kill them. Some places you can't even shoot them, and that pisses me off because I like being a twat. And what makes it worse is you can't technically hire gang members unless you have a perk. Yeah, so there's a perk where you hire certain crew members, but then they disappear after a very, very short time. I'm not even taking the piss. I managed to get unlocked. I thought, oh, this is cool. I think I managed to just kill one of my teammates actually once doing it, but yeah, they're basically invincible. I'm like, not invincible, but like you can't do anything damage. But then they vanish, so they're only there for like until the gunfight stops. Then they vanish. I'm like, it's kind of like Cyberpunk 2077 shit where people just vanish or just spawn or whatever. Some of the side missions are shit. Like, again, I mentioned before, the toxic waste delivery truck is one of the worst ones that I hate with a passion, because the NPCs drive like absolute cunts. I mean, you've got to carefully drive. You got to drive this toxic waste wagon. If they get damaged, so you lose your barrels. And I got right to the end, and then I overshot the turning, and then I lost my last can. And I'm like, you bastard, fuck off. The perks, I mean, this irritated me as well. So the perks have like 3 different levels, but even so, you can only have 1, 2, 3, or probably 4 perks at once. Depends on the level itself, which again is like why. And then, but with the perks, you have to do like side missions and certain challenges and crap out, which some are a pain in the ass to do to unlock. So I'm like, okay, but the real kicker is one of the perk levels is you need $250,000 to unlock a perk level. But I've actually completed the game, and I've not actually got a perk that's available on level 3 for one of these, which is like, what the fuck. But again, that's a piss take, where obviously the Saints Row's leveling system, which I love in 2 and 3, where you obviously you have to level up, which you have to level up anyway. I mean, you've got certain perks anyway that are permanent, like you got your bonuses, like you hire your crews, you can spawn grenades, because that's the thing, you can't pick grenades. You have to use a perk for grenades or for mines, which are infinite, but obviously you have to kill people to get your bar up, if that makes sense. I mean, it's kind of good because you think that I kind of like, but again, it's a piss take because you can't just have grenades. It has to be a perk. Same mines, it has to be a perk. And then there's like loads of other stuff, but then you have permanent I think permanent space for your health, for I think damage and something else. But again, it's a clusterfuck with that. It's too over complex, and it's too like, what is the point? Because with money, like I said, with the money as well, it's hell. Starting the game off with trying to get money is a nightmare. But once you progress through the game, I think at the moment I get like 250,000 an hour, which is ridiculous. And then my max level is like $800,000. But it comes to a point where if apart from the Millionaire Club and then some like missions what you got to do to get, which I've not completed because I can't be asked, obviously I have to pay all for the money. So I'm like, I mean, another major factor is obviously, like you said, Mike, probably only others, I like to just fuck about like massive, get the SWAT, get the army, get gang levels, max, and just cause chaos. I mean, I have had so much trouble maintaining wanted levels, it's unreal. Like if you kill all the people, like all the police or whatever, you want to level, it could be like 5-star, you want to level the vanishes completely. I'm like, I mean, when I started this earlier in the game, I'm like, oh my fucking god, like I shoot people, I'm like, but then instantly vanishes the wanted level. I'm like, this is shit, that I don't like. I mean, again, there's probably loads more like cons with this, but yeah, like I said, it's still on top of the head I can think of. But let's talk about the pros, okay? And again, there's a nice small list of good stuff. So right at the bat is ragdolling. Instantly, I fell in love with the ragdolling. It's still as bonkers and crazy as the other Saints Row games, because I think that's what helped make Saints Row thing. It's like over the top, like running people over, or like shooting them, or like hitting them with something. Watching them ragdoll and flop. It's hilarious. The guns, yes, they are. I love the guns and how they look and how they feel. There are guns that are in the other Saints Row games. I'm sure like in 2 and I think one's in 2 and some's in 3. I know definitely there's loads in 3 that have moved over, and it's nice to see some of it come back, and some guns as well which are new. Mine's the like a single fire round assault rifle like Western gun thing, which basically insta kills all the time. That's hilarious. So the gun gameplay feels great. It's not janky. It feels smooth. It's nice. It's satisfying. The radio stations, again, what I like about Saints Row is obviously with GTA and all stuff like that is the music itself. Again, Saints Row has unlike obviously GTA 5, which I'm disappointed with the lack of metal. Saints Row Reboot has Nuclear Blast Records as a radio station with heavy metal shit. I'm like, fuck yeah. I mean, obviously they have synthwave as well now too. They have a synthwave channel in the Reboot as well as Nuclear Blast Records. So obviously then you have your rap and your rock, and you have country music, and then obviously you have like Mexican and then your classical. But again, the music is so wide and varied, and it's pretty fucking cool. With quick character customization, again, it's on par with the other Saints Row. You can buy plenty of clothing, plenty of outfits. I mean, why is there giant shit as a costume for a free DLC? Like, I saw it for a free content to download, and I hated it. I hate it so fucking much. Why is there giant shit? I sent it to me mate. Said, hey, look at this, no context. It's like, what the fuck? So I hate it, but I'm like, okay, you can be a giant fucking turd. Vehicle customization, again, you can customize pretty much every car in the vehicle in the game, and obviously it's through again with the Saints Row customization, everything as much as you can do, from your bumpers to like the side to your wheels, like cosmetic shit basically, and to your performance and stuff like that. And obviously there's some bells, perks as well that you can get, like your chain and ball and whatever. But again, and then you can change the audio as well for the cars. I mean, you can change like your supercar to like be a tractor or some shit. I mean, what's fucking hilarious is you can have a horn. One is your own voice. Like you can have your character go beep beep, like stuff like that. It's stupid. It's stupid as fuck, but I love it because I'm like. But again, like I said, the vehicle, like I love the cars. The cars look and feel great. I mean, I think I had it with some games where the cars look shit. I'm like, but again, obviously with tanks and monster trucks, you can crush the cars as well, which they've left, which is pretty goddamn good. I think mods I can do. Your emojis, you can. I don't know if it's a glitch, but you can do both positive and negative at the same time. So I have a wanker emoji, but I have a sun dab emoji, which eventually dabs. So you can have like, you can be wanking off and then be dabbing at the same time. But you can also like carry a. I was holding a sledgehammer while doing it as well, and it's fucking stupid. It's probably broken physics, but it's fucking stupid, but it's hilarious. So again, moving on. Obviously the side missions where you rate businesses, again, that's great. I love that. It's different. I've seen it before. That's pretty good. Along with the NPC dialogue, which I'm actually pretty surprised that they've actually done a very good job with NPCs. Some of the crap is stupid. I mean, I heard one guy, what do you mean it's not safe to put a dildo in a dishwasher or some fucking shit, or how do fish breathe underwater or some shit, or this guy's like, get out of the way, I need a shit, stupid crap like that. I fucking love. That's great. I'm actually glad they've actually took the time to put bingo in. That's good. Oh yeah, before I move on, cons as well. It's pros and cons. Obviously you've got your, obviously with all the Saint Row games, you can call for characters to help you out, like your friends, but you only get 3 friends and your friends all together in this whole reboot thing. You have the Nawali, but you kill him, don't you? But I mean, the NPCs, they do help you out. They do shoot, they do rob cars, and they will follow you in a convoy from vehicles and stuff like that. But there's no proper connection with them, basically. Unlike, you know, when you speak to, when you follow NPCs around together, you know, and your crew, they'll chat to each other, and then they'll chat shit to you. There's none of that. I couldn't really hear anything from it, which I'm like, ugh. So that's kind of both pros and cons. Obviously, they actually do the job, help you out, but it's lifeless. So, with all this to consider, the review is fucking done. I mean, it's an hour, fucking 15 minutes probably. So yeah, with all this into consideration, as I've said, I'm not being biased. Again, like I said, what I do for reviews, is to look into it and see the pros and see the cons and see, right, okay, how it can be improved. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of bad. I say the games, in all, right, the story's good. Again, shit moments. Gameplay wise, it's good. There's no issues, but again, there's a lot of like stuff that I stuck for the Saints Row games. However, the hardware issues with the game running with glitches and bugs is a massive letdown. If I said before, if it weren't for that, I reckon the game wouldn't be as hated as much, or Dean Woke or fucking Snowflake or some shit like that. Which again, I don't take that into consideration for anything at all. It's not a valid point. The view, like what I've just done for the past hour, which if you're still listening, I appreciate it, is like more in depth for like pros and cons and like all that stuff. But like I said, yeah, I think I spent, hang on, let me check my game real quick while I'm still here. I basically completed Saints Row. I've just got basically 30 hours of gaming in Saints Row. 30 hours and I've got this game. And bear in mind, there's some bits I've not finished and there's some bits that I've missed out, but overall, you know, I've got the gist of the game. I mean, would I replay this? I would. I would do the story again. I'm not mega like hyped for it, but there is the feel to other Saints Row games to it. You can see connections. There is also some I forgot to mention this. I just remember to have. There is some mentions about the history of the town you're in that has connections to other Saints Row games. I think I said Old Tor gets mentioned, has some talks about it in the reboot, and obviously Old Tor Saints Row 2. There's some minor bits and bobs which interlink, which I've not obviously somehow discovered. Blah blah blah. So I said they have tried to put some links into the other games. So with that in due, I probably can't chat shit very much longer. My throat hurts. I need a drink. I've been doing this for a goddamn hour. Well, yeah, I appreciate obviously you guys, if you stick to the end, thank you for listening. I like to know what you guys think about it. Again, I personally say if you're on the fence with this game, I said if it's for a couple quid, just go buy it and then just play for yourself and then go, oh yeah. And a day, I said this, the game's always on sale for jack shit money. So if you do want to play it just to complete the Saints Row Saga series and go, okay, yeah, whatever, I say do it. Otherwise, like I said, there's no point crying over it. It's just, it is what it is. The damage is dealt with regardless. I hope the franchise does recover and do something somehow, but personally, I don't think this is it now for Saints Row. And even if they do come back, I don't think there's much they can do about it without trying to recycle like the main story. So, with all due, turning the video with Saints Row, Saints Flow, or Saints Spaghetti Hoops, something like that.
No, please, I'll give you anything. Riches, power, just name your price.
I come for your crown.
You? A min-maxing knave? Never!
The king is dead. Long live me. Move.
So, are you gonna buy anything?
1 chocolate milk and a packet of beef jerky.